This is the part 6 video of chapter 5 for standard 8th science, Inside an Atom. If you haven't watched the first 5 parts, please click on the link in the description box below. Hey, this video was made just for you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So let's continue with this chapter. Atoms of all elements except inert gases have the tendency to combine with other atoms. So we learned earlier that inert gases have a complete valence shell. That is, their outermost shell had an octet or 8 electrons. Therefore, they were not able to combine with other atoms. But except for inert gases, all the other atoms of elements were able to bind with other atoms, meaning that they have a non-zero valency. So if their valency was any number apart from 0, then they will be able to form bonds with other atoms. You have seen that the formulae of molecules formed by combination with hydrogen, for example H2, that is 2 hydrogen molecules together, and HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, in which there is one molecule of hydrogen combined with one molecule of chlorine. Here the valency of hydrogen is 1 because hydrogen is combining with one other atom. The electronic configuration of hydrogen shows that there is one electron less than the complete duplet state. So hydrogen has just one electron in its outermost shell, and to become a duplet it needs one additional electron. So one electron is less in its outermost shell to form this complete duplet. Therefore the valency of hydrogen is 1. This number 1 matches with the valency of hydrogen, which is also 1. Moreover, it is learned that the electronic configuration of sodium is 2, 8, 1. And therefore, it has one electron in the valence shell, and the valency of sodium is also 1, as seen from the molecular formula such as NaCl, NaH, etc. So here we can see that one molecule of sodium is combining with one molecule of chlorine or one molecule of hydrogen. Therefore, the valency of sodium is 1. It means that there is some relation between the valency of an element and the number of electrons in its valence shell. So the number of electrons in its outermost shell has a relation with the valency of that element. Use your brain power. In the following table, we can see that the molecular formula of compounds which are formed from different elements. Write the valency of the respective element obtained from them, and also their electronic configuration and the number of their valence electrons in the empty spaces. So let's do this table together. So this table tells us first the symbol of the element, then it gives us a molecular formula of certain compounds that this element is in, and we have to find the valency of the element, the electronic configuration of the element, the number of valence electrons, and that would be X. So the number of valence electrons would be the number of electrons in the valence shell, that is the outermost shell. And then we have to do 8 minus this number of valence electrons. So let us see the first example. Here they are telling us about hydrogen, which is denoted by the symbol H, and it is present in the molecular compound of HCl. So here one molecule of hydrogen is combining with one molecule of chlorine. Therefore, the valency of the element is 1. And the electronic configuration, since hydrogen has just one electron, will be 1. So therefore, the number of valence electrons is also 1. The next one is chlorine. Chlorine is also present in this HCl compound. And since it also combines with just one atom, therefore its valency is 1. The electronic configuration of chlorine is 2, 8, 7. So therefore the number of valence electrons would be 7. Now when we do 8 minus 7, we get 1. So therefore this matches with the valency of the element. The next compound is neon. Neon is an inert element. Therefore, it does not combine with any compound since it has a valency of 0. Therefore, it cannot form bonds with another element. The electronic configuration of neon is 2,8. Therefore, this tells us that the outermost shell of neon is complete because it has all the 8 electrons that are present in the L shell. So the number of valence electrons would be 8 because there are 8 electrons in the outermost shell. And when you do 8 minus 8, we would get 0. The next element is fluorine. Fluorine is denoted by the symbol F. It is present in HF. So here we know fluorine can only bind with one other atom, that is hydrogen. Therefore, the valency of that element would be 1. Electronic configuration of fluorine is 2,7. And the number of valence electrons would be 7 because 7 electrons are present in the L shell. When we do 8 minus 7, we would get 1. The next element is sodium. Sodium is denoted by the symbol Na. It is present in NaH. So here again, sodium can only bind with one other atom. Therefore, its valency is 1. The electronic configuration of sodium is 2,8,1. So here we have just one electron in the outermost shell. Therefore, the number of valence electrons is 1. When we do 8 minus 1, we would get 7. The next element is magnesium. Magnesium is present in MgCl2. So here if you see carefully, one Mg molecule is combining with 2 chlorine molecules. Therefore, the valency of magnesium is 2. The electronic configuration of magnesium is 2,8,2. So therefore, here only 2 electrons are present in the outermost shell, that is the M shell. Therefore, the number of valence electrons would be 2. When we do 8 minus 2, we would get 6. The next element is carbon. Carbon is present in methane and the molecular formula of methane is CH4. So here, one carbon atom is combining with 4 hydrogen molecules. So therefore, the valency for carbon is 4. And the electronic configuration of carbon is 2,4. So here 4 electrons are present in the outermost shell. Therefore, the number of valence electrons is 4. And when you do 8 minus 4, we would get 4. The last element in this example is aluminium. Aluminium is denoted by the symbol Al. It is present in AlCl3. So here one molecule of aluminium is combining with 3 molecules of chlorine. Therefore, the valency of aluminium is 3. The electronic configuration would be 2,8,3. And therefore, the number of valence electrons would be 3. And when you do 8 minus 3, we would get 5. So what do we learn from this table? Very carefully now, just concentrate on these 3 columns. In these 3 columns, we have been given the valency of the element, the number of valence electrons, and that number of valence electrons after subtracting from 8. So first just concentrate on these 2 columns. So here, if you see carefully that the number of valence electrons and the valency of the element is same only when the electrons are between 1 to 4. But when the number of electrons exceeds 4 and becomes more than 4, then the valency does not be the same. For example, over here the number of valence electrons are 8 but the valency is 0. And here it is 7 but the valency is 1. But notice that these numbers are same as these numbers. Therefore, we can conclude that the number of valence electrons would be equal to the valency of the element only if the number of valence electrons is between 1 to 4. But once it exceeds 4, then the valency of the element is equal to the number of valence electrons after subtracting from 8. Always remember, valency of an element is the same as the number of its valence electrons if the number is 4 or less than 4. On the other hand, when an element has 4 or more valence electrons, the number of electrons by which the octet is short of completion is the valency of that element. So this is the definition of what we proved just now. So in which they are telling us that the valency of an element would be equal to its number of valence electrons only if that number is 4 or less than 4. That is, it could be 1, 2, 3 or 4. But if this number exceeds 4, that is, if it is 5, 6, 7 or 8, then we need to subtract it from 8 to get the number of the valency. Use your brain power. So here are given some questions on topics that we have already learned in detail. So if you want the answers to these questions, go to www.jkacademypro.com. Now let us study about isotopes. The atomic number is a fundamental property of an element and its chemical identity. Do you remember what the atomic number was? The atomic number was denoted by the letter Z, and it was the number of protons present in the nucleus of the element. Some elements in nature have atoms with the same atomic number but different mass number. So you will find different elements in nature having same atomic number, that is the value of Z, that is the number of protons present in the nucleus, would be same. But their mass number would be different. Do you remember what the mass number was? The mass number is denoted by the letter A, and it told us the number of protons plus the number of neutrons present in the nucleus of the atom. Such atoms of the same element having different mass number are called isotopes. So any element that has the same atomic number but different mass number are termed as isotopes. For example, carbon has 3 isotopes, namely C12, C13 and C14. The mass number of isotopes is also represented by another method. So here the mass number would be denoted as such, where you would put it on top. So here it would be C12, C13 and C14. The isotopes have the same proton number but different neutron number. Therefore, the atomic number is the same but the mass number changes. So here C12, C13 and C14 have respectively 12, 13, 14 as their mass number A. So the proton number would be the same, and that would be 6. And the neutron number would be 12 minus 6, that is 6, 13 minus 6, that is 7, and 14 minus 6, that is 8. Therefore, the neutron number is different, but the proton number is same, and these are called isotopes. Collect information. Hydrogen has 3 isotopes. They have separate names as well. It's called as hydrogen, deuterium and tritium. Find out their mass numbers. So the conventional way to write elements is by writing the symbol, for example X of the element, and on the left side on top we have to write the atomic mass number, and below it we have to write the atomic number. So for example here we have been given hydrogen 1, 1. So here the atomic number and the mass number are both 1. The atomic number would tell us the number of protons in the nucleus, and therefore the proton number would be 1. We find the neutron number by doing mass number minus the atomic number. So here 1 minus 1 would give us 0, and that's how we know that the hydrogen atom contains no neutrons. Now we have to write the symbols for the isotopes deuterium and tritium, where they have already given us the proton number and the neutron number. So here the symbol for deuterium and tritium would both be H, because they are isotopes of hydrogen. And here both of them have the proton number as 1. Therefore, the atomic number would be 1, and we write the atomic number below. Therefore, this will be 1. Now to find the mass number, we have to do the proton number plus the neutron number. So for deuterium it would be 1 plus 1, that is 2. And for the tritium it would be 1 plus 2, that is 3. And that is how we find the isotopes of hydrogen. Similarly, they have given us the other isotopes of carbon. So we have to find out the proton number and the neutron number. So proton number is very easy to find out because we just have to copy the atomic number, and that is 17. And since they are isotopes, the atomic number for both of them would be the same. For the neutron number, we have to subtract this 17 from the mass number, that is 35 and 37. When we subtract 17 from 35, we would get 18. And when we subtract 17 from 37, we would get 20. And that is how you fill out these tables. For the answers to this exercise and other free worksheets, please go to jkacademypro.com. This was the end of part 6. For the part 7 video, please click on the link in the description box below.